Today we're going to discuss the concept, trust life. Along this journey and throughout this series, people have asked me what is one of the biggest distinctions that I made that really led to some of the greatest growth in my life. And I've shared in the past that there's not really just one, because as I've progressed to certain levels of understanding, new distinctions took me to whole new levels. Learning to trust life was one of these. As you may have heard me talk about in previous episodes, acceptance was another. Learning to live in gratitude was another. Trusting life was something I had to build to, because if someone would have told me in the very beginning that I needed to trust life, I would have thought they were totally crazy, because at that point I didn't trust anything. I couldn't trust myself. How could I trust life? But what I've learned and what I've become to adopt as a belief system for myself is that everything happens for a reason. And my new belief is that all of these things that happen actually serve us in becoming who it is that we desire to be. Now, that belief had not always been that way. But when I looked back at my life and I looked at some of the greatest accomplishments and some of what I used to perceive as the greatest tragedies, when I stepped away from it and looked at it as a humble observer, rather than attaching all this meaning and attaching all this judgment to it, I was able to see that it actually helped me to transition to a new place. I also realized that trusting life was a key ingredient to even beginning to attempt living the life that I desire. It led to success and fulfillment in many areas of my life. And just as a really quick side note, trust life is part of what I refer to as the 7 keys for success and fulfillment. And Jerry and I just finished a huge project. And when I say huge, I mean normally our videos are between 5 and 10 minutes long. This video that we just completed is 30 minutes long. And it is called the 7 keys for success and fulfillment. And what it talks about is the key ingredients that I've found present with every person who I've ever met who is both successful and fulfilled. Trust life is one of those, and there are 6 other key ingredients. And I invite you to watch that video to get access to it. I invite you to sign up for our free newsletter. Both the newsletter and the video are free. And as just a special thanks to the people who are part of our newsletter, that video is only available by signing up for the newsletter. So back to trusting life. When Jerry and I even started this project of Self-Awareness 101, we had no idea of what would happen with it. We still don't. I mean, we're wrapping up the first series, but there's much more to come. But when we sat down a little over a year ago to even have our first conversation about what we wanted to embark on, we really had no idea of what the reaction would be, what the response would be. We knew that based on what we saw going on in our communities and globally, that people were stressed out. The economy was a mess. There were all sorts of fears of transitions that were happening, again, within communities and at a global level. And what we wanted to do was we wanted to share our experience. We wanted to take that collective knowledge that we had gained over the years and give it to people. And we really had to trust life on what the outcome was going to be, because our intention was to inspire, to educate, to empower, and to create a community where people would come together and support each other. But did we know that that was going to work? We had no clue. So we had to trust life as we decided that we would start spending these long hours of sitting and setting up all the lighting and researching the topic and filming. I mean, there are hundreds of man hours that have gone into creating just this series, Self-Awareness 101. If you were to sit down and watch this series from beginning to end, all 52 episodes in the introduction, there's over 6 hours of material for you to watch. Now, I'm not saying that to impress you. As Tony Robbins says, I'm saying that to impress upon you that we did this trusting life, that the message would reach the people who would resonate with it, that we would grow as individuals in doing this. And the beautiful thing for me is through choosing to trust life, I have grown as a person. I've grown professionally. This has opened me up to new friendships, to new opportunities. It's rekindled friendships with people I haven't seen in years. All because we decided that we were going to step outside of our comfort zone and trust life. There's another aspect to this, that many times in life we set a goal. We have our intention, our desire. We are working with the law of attraction. And we're so focused on the outcome that we desire. And all of a sudden, everything that's the complete opposite of what we're trying to achieve happens. What I've learned is if I choose to trust life, because that is a choice, the meaning that we attach to anything is our choice. If I choose to trust life, I can find the gifts in it. I can recognize that many times what I have my focus on as my goal, I need to learn other lessons before I get to that point. And many times, if I'm trusting life, the obstacles or the challenges that come up are actually the universe or my unconscious, whatever you want to attribute it to. It's creating the opportunities for me to learn the skills that I will need to be able to successfully handle the goal it is that I've set for myself. Getting to that place of learning to trust life has probably been one of the most freeing experiences in my life. What I invite you to do, kind of as an exercise for this week, is to sit down with your journal, and I want you to write down some of the greatest achievements that you've had in your life, and also some of the most challenging or traumatic experiences. And then I want you to become a humble observer. We talked about removing judgment and looking at it from just that point of observation. And as you do, ask yourself, where did this lead me? What were the gifts that came from this experience? How could I have transitioned even faster if I would have learned to trust life rather than fighting it tooth and nail? Because a lot of times, trusting life is allowing life to help you let go of where you are to allow you to move into where you desire to be. So again, I really look forward to your feedback as always. I look forward to your comments, and I look forward to connecting again soon. Take care. For a transcription of the video you just watched, more videos, and related articles, visit yourdailylifecoach.com. To comment on this video, select Discussion Forums on any page of our website.